The Honourable Malcolm Turnbull, Prime Minister of the Commonwealth of Australia, members of the official delegation, distinguished guests, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It is a great pleasure to welcome Prime Minister Turnbull and his delegation on his first visit to the Philippines. Your visit represents the latest chapter in the rich history that has bound our peoples. Even before the establishment of formal relations in 1946, we were already working together. During World War II, after Bataan and Corregidor fell to the Axis forces, Australia gave refuge to our government. Later, Australians and other allies would stand shoulder to shoulder with Filipinos in the liberation of our country. Since 1946, the Philippines and Australia have cooperated in all aspects of our relations, including that of humanitarian assistance and disaster response. It is this long legacy of cooperation that we pay tribute to today in signing the Joint Declaration on Philippines-Australia's Comprehensive Partnership. The declaration acknowledges the increasing breadth and depth of our relations, which sets the tone, pace, and direction of our relationship in the years ahead. Prime Minister Turnbull and I had extensive discussions on how we can further improve our bilateral relations and strengthen our cooperation and engagement on regional and international issues. We reaffirmed the importance of engagement and cooperation in the political, defense, and security, law enforcement, and counterterrorism fields, amongst others. We also exchanged views on regional security challenges, including maritime security, and with this committed to continue our bilateral consultations on how to address them. The Prime Minister and I committed to continue working closely towards more substantive and meaningful activities between the armed forces of the Philippines and the Australian Defence Force to build trust and confidence and enhance interoperability. In particular, I thank Prime Minister Turnbull for Australia's continuous support to the modernization of the Philippines' own forces, including the recent donation of 2 landing craft heavy vessels to the Philippine Navy. These are significant assets not only to our defense, but also and more importantly to our disaster response capabilities. One of these vessels, in fact, was used in our Navy's relief operations in the wake of Typhoon Kopu. Indeed, in disaster risk reduction and management, Australia has never failed to extend a helping hand to the Filipino people. Now we are working with one another to enhance the Philippines' DRRM capacities through the Resilience and Preparedness Towards Inclusive Development, or RAPID program. Australia's partnership has been invaluable in other areas as the Philippines works to meet our development goals, from those in education to infrastructure development to the realization of peace, stability, and progress in Mindanao. I wish to note the significant role that Australia played in programs and projects such as the School Building Program for Basic Education, the Provincial Road Management Facility, and the Mindanao Trust Fund Reconstruction and Development Program, among others. As our bilateral relations have strengthened throughout the years, Prime Minister Turnbull and I also noted the increase in bilateral trade between our economies. In particular, I thanked him for the support that Australia has given our public-private partnership programs. A stronger policy, legal, institutional, and regulatory environment for PPPs has been created through their help, and we look forward to continued cooperation with Australia in this area. We likewise welcome the finalization of the Philippines-Australia Memorandum of Understanding and Cooperation in Technical and Vocational Education and Training. This will allow us to share knowledge, information, and best practices with each other, particularly in areas of mutual interest, and collaborate on significant projects that will enable both Australian and the Filipino peoples to take hold of their own destinies. The Philippines and Australia have been partners in peace, stability, and progress for almost 70 years now. We look forward to further deepening our engagement in all areas through a strong, comprehensive partnership founded on the desire to uplift and empower our peoples, our region, and the wider community of nations. Thank you. Good day.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. President, and congratulations on hosting a very successful APEC 2015. You've charted very eloquently the long course of friendship and solidarity between our two countries, which of course preceded your country's liberation in the end of the Second World War. We are very, very good friends, the Philippines and Australia, and our friendship has deepened further and been strengthened further today by the signing of these agreements that you've just witnessed. Can I say that we appreciate very much your commitment to the rule of law in this area, in this region. Your commitment to ensuring that the big economic changes that we're witnessing, that are all around us, are accompanied by a commitment to international norms, and that is very, very important. We've had a very good discussion today about the work we can do together in terms of defence cooperation, and we appreciate your thanks for the landing craft, the heavy landing crafts that we've provided to the Philippines, and we look forward to more support in that area. We're also very appreciative of the advice that you've given us in terms of the global struggle against terrorism. The Philippines is no stranger to violent extremism, and your government has been, and your predecessors' governments have been very strong in their defence of the civil order. And I thought your views on de-radicalisation were particularly informative and very helpful to us as we consider our responses in Australia. I want to also say that the focus on economic growth and trade is absolutely central. APEC, after all, is focused on economics. We live, as we discussed, in a world of rapid economic change, which is supercharged by technology. It is a pace of change never seen before in the history of human development. And to succeed in that environment, Mr. President, as we both understand, both companies and countries, both businesses and governments, have to be agile. They have to be able to respond quickly and flexibly and seize the opportunities that change presents. And that's why ensuring that we have free markets within our own countries, but of course free trade across the board is very important. And that's why the signing of the TPP recently was so important, and we note that your enthusiasm for acceding to that treaty in the future is something that we would welcome as well. So thank you, Mr. President, for a very warm welcome to Manila. Thank you for your hosting of APEC 2015. Thank you.